You wake up. On the nightstand is a badge with an orange stripe across the top. It says, Level 4. Out of the tens of thousands of people who work for the SCP Foundation, only a small fraction will ever hold this clearance. It sits one step below the 13 people who run the entire organization. Today, you are one of them. This is what the badge actually opens, and what it costs to carry it. Before you understand Level 4, you need to understand the ladder beneath it. Level 0 clearance goes to non-essential personnel, logistics, administration, janitorial staff with no need to know anything about anomalies. Level 1 goes to personnel working inside a facility that holds anomalies, but with no direct access to them. Levels 2 and 3 grant deeper access, enough to work directly with specific anomalies, enough to authorize certain procedures. Level 4 clearance is given to senior administration, personnel who need site-wide or regional intelligence, and long-term strategic data on Foundation operations. Typically, it's reserved for site directors, security directors, and mobile task force commanders. Occasionally, a researcher earns it early, when the task in front of them demands it. Above you sits only Level 5, effectively unlimited access, reserved for the O5 Council and the few staff who serve directly under them. Having the clearance is not the same as having the access. Everything still runs on need to know. You didn't start here. You started as an assistant researcher, new, inexperienced, ordered around by people who knew more than you. Years passed. You became a researcher, assigned to a specific piece of a specific anomaly, one small question inside a much larger file. Then came senior researcher. Decades of experience, leading a team, coordinating testing across an entire object. Somewhere in that climb, a site director decided you needed to see more than your rank technically allowed, and the badge on your nightstand this morning is the result. At the front gate, you tap your card. Orange, not gray, not blue. Orange means the system already knows what you're allowed to see, before you even ask. Level 5 doesn't use cards at all. It uses biometrics and kill agents instead. The risk of losing a card that powerful is considered too great. You are for now as high as a keycard will take you. Clearance tells you what you can know. Personnel class tells you how close you're allowed to get to what you know. Class A personnel are essential to Foundation strategy. They are never, under any circumstance, allowed direct access to an anomaly. Class B personnel are essential locally, but only cleared to work near anomalies that have already passed quarantine. Class C personnel have direct access to most anomalies that aren't considered outright hostile. And Class D personnel, the ones who go into the room when nobody else can. Drawn from death row inmates, given a number instead of a name. You will never be in a room with Class A personnel while an anomaly is present. That's the rule, not a preference. Your test today needs a Class D subject. That request doesn't start with you. It goes to your site director, then, depending on the anomaly, to the ethics committee. Only once it's approved does a Class D detainee get walked to your containment wing. You brief them on what's about to happen, not everything. Only what's necessary. You watch. You record. You do not intervene unless protocol says you can. At the end of the month, that subject is given an amnestic, or they are not. Somewhere above your site director, but below the O5 Council, sits a department most personnel treat as a joke. The Ethics Committee reviews what the Foundation is willing to do, and decides, case by case, when cruelty is necessary and when it isn't. Their own orientation materials are blunt about it. The joke is deliberate. The power is not. They describe their purpose in 3 lessons. The Foundation is not evil. The Foundation serves the world, not the other way around. And someone has to decide when cruelty is necessary. That someone is them. They have their own enforcement arm, a mobile task force that answers only to them. If your test crosses a line they didn't approve, you don't answer to your site director. You answer to them. With this badge, you can request files that Level 3 personnel don't even know exist. Not just the anomaly you work on, every anomaly at your site. Sometimes anomalies at sites you've never visited. You can read the long-term strategic projections most staff never see. What the Foundation expects 5, 10, 20 years from now. You can sit in briefings that Level 3 personnel are escorted out of before they begin. This is not power for its own sake. It's the access the job requires. But there is a ceiling, and you can see exactly where it is, even if you can't see past it. Above Level 4 sits Level 5, the O5 Council, and only the staff essential enough to work directly beneath them. You will never sit in that room. Most Level 4 personnel never do. Whatever the Council knows about the true scope of certain anomalies, it stops reaching you exactly here. Down the hall from your office is a locked cabinet most personnel are never shown. Class A amnestics are gaseous, the most common tool used in the field, wiping the last several hours from a witness's memory. Class C is more precise, targeted at a specific memory, requiring the sign-off of 2 Level 3 personnel before it can even be used. Its own internal data puts the success rate at 92.8%. It cannot legally be used on the same person more than 4 times. Every amnestic used on anyone is logged. The Ethics Committee reviews every entry. There is one entry in that cabinet your Level 3 colleagues believe is just a stronger amnestic. Class E, officially described as memory rehabilitation. It is not an amnestic. It never was. It is a permanently induced coma, used in cases where termination isn't possible or isn't preferable. Level 3 personnel and below are never told this. You are Level 4. You are. Then, without warning, the alarm changes tone. As Level 4, you're one of the people authorized to know what that tone actually means before it's announced to the rest of the site. Somewhere in your wing, containment has failed. Lower clearance staff are told to evacuate. You are told to stay and coordinate. This is the moment your clearance stops being a privilege and starts being a job. Within minutes, a unit you didn't call arrives anyway. Mobile Task Force Epsilon 11. Internal security, deployed when standard protocols fail and multiple breaches are imminent. Their commander holds Level 4 clearance too. For the next hour, they outrank your site director on this specific problem. Above them, in the worst-case scenarios, sits Mobile Task Force Alpha 1, the O5 Council's own Special Operations Unit. You will likely never work directly with Alpha 1. Most Level 4 personnel don't. Within the hour, the breach is sealed. The corridor is quiet again. That night, you're required to sit through a psychiatric evaluation. Not optional, not a suggestion. Anyone exposed to a mind-affecting or mimetic event during the breach is required to go through this. You've done this before. You'll do it again. Some Level 4 personnel don't make it to retirement with their composure intact. The Foundation offers support. It also expects you back at your desk in the morning. At some point, every Level 4 researcher asks the same question. Can I actually leave this job? According to one of the Foundation's own internal guides, there's a specific amnestic reserved for exactly this situation. Class F. Fugue. It doesn't just erase a memory, it erases and rebuilds identity. That same guide says it's likely used for retiring Foundation personnel and for releasing certain Class D subjects. Whether that applies to every researcher, or only some, isn't something the Foundation writes down clearly. That ambiguity is itself the point. And yet, morning after morning, you tap that orange card against the scanner anyway. Not because you have no choice, because you've seen what's actually out there. Once you know what Level 4 knows, going back to not knowing isn't really an option. The world outside still thinks Tuesday is ordinary. You know exactly how much work it takes to keep it that way. Level 4 isn't a reward. It's a responsibility with a badge attached to it. It means knowing what most people never will, and carrying what most people never have to. It means being trusted with the Foundation's secrets, and trusted just as much to keep carrying them. Above you, Level 5 keeps its own secrets from you. Below you, an entire Foundation keeps working, mostly unaware of exactly how close to the edge things came today. Level 0 to Level 5. That's the latter. You've just seen what the fourth rung actually looks like. Most Foundation personnel will retire without ever reaching it. You reached it, and you learned exactly what it costs to keep it. All information in this video comes from scpwiki.com, the official security clearance levels page, the task forces page, and the Foundation's own in-universe guide tales. The SCP Foundation is a collaborative fiction project. Every page referenced here is the work of individual authors who donated their writing to a Creative Commons project. The full pages are free to read at scpwiki.com. Next week on Shroudex, explain. Subscribe so you don't miss it.